Welcome to Battle Truth, in my point of view. I don't know you, so I'm not a hater. I could only give you the facts that's written on these papers. And since we have no dealings, therefore the court can care less about your feelings. I'm the Honorable Malachi Markilius, your presiding judge, chairman, and spokesperson for the One United Front. You are my witnesses and jury. You may be seated. Court is now in session. Let's talk about it. Today we're going to look into the case and matter, man, of Jay-Z, man. Jay-Z. Power moves. Jay-Z did a power move that was so crazy, a lot of people don't even pay attention to it. And it is so effective when you are successful that it actually destroyed Damon Dash from that point on. Let me give you one of his. And this was very effective. If you look at previous interviews of Damon Dash and Jay-Z, Damon Dash was the mind, the muscle, and the guy who was at the forefront making everything happen and getting things done. Jay-Z was the artist for the most part, the number one man on that label, who the people, you know what I'm saying, was rallying with, rocking with. So Damon Dash was very cocky, very arrogant, the muscle, the man, you know. Learn from the animal kingdom. Men can never really get along for so long. No man appreciate being under the shadow of another man. No man like to get handouts from other men. Learn from the animal kingdom. Because when you're dealing with alpha males, these is what takes place. Now, some people don't mind being soldiers and things like that. But this situation would be different, man. When Jay-Z started, he was behind and under the protection of Damon Dash and his guy. I'm just keeping it real. Interviews speak about this. Damon Dash is very vocal and open about this. He'll be the one going in record labels with his team and demanding, give us our money or else. Jay-Z didn't have to do none of that. He just laid back. You know? Once he started getting big, making millions and millions of records, Damon Dash and him, they began to have a little friction. Jay-Z is tired of being up under Damon Dash's shadow. He no longer feels like he's intimidated and afraid anymore. So as he get more bigger, selling millions of records, he began to disconnect himself from him. This was the power move. At one time, Jay-Z didn't have the power, didn't have the resources to disconnect himself. So what he did was allow Damon Dash to make everything happen and put him in position. Once Jigga began to, again, be the artist, being in position, all the fans and people was rallying in his place and situation, then it was time for him to strike. Damon Dash had been asking Jay-Z to do songs on other people on the label's album to help it sell. Jay-Z didn't want to do it. Damon Dash said, I don't understand. You are hottest artist on the label and you part owners of the label. This business, you should want to do that so we can make more money off these record sales, but you don't. You want to be featured on Memphis Bleak stuff, but you don't want to be featured on other people's stuff because Memphis Bleak and Jay-Z had a close relationship because they from the same hood. So Damon Dash was offended in that Jay-Z didn't want to do it. But Jay-Z came out after all the stuff hit the fan and let it be known when that stuff was known. And he took a shot at Damon Dash and he let it be known. Look, Memphis Bleak ain't never got to sell an album. As long as I got it, he got it. you know? Now, here's the power move that was so cold. So now Jay-Z is making all these, he going platinum. So now he the face of a rap. Everybody rallying around him. He got all the fan base. Even though Damon Dash is holding things down muscly. But when you're successful, you tend to get people who will go out of their way for you just for favor, just for position, just to be in your inner circle. Jay-Z used that to his advantage. Jay-Z disconnected himself from Damon Dash people and got people who didn't give a damn about Damon Dash. That's exactly what he did. Once he began to position himself in power, he began to disconnect himself. And then he hired a staff that had nothing to do with Damon Dash, which meant they was already put on game who to keep him away from. I saw an interview with Damon Dash was asked, when the last time you see Jay-Z? He said, they won't let me see him. They won't let me see him. Who is they? Who is the they that won't let Damon Dash see him? When he tried to go see him, he was stopped. Hey, where you going? Oh, I'm dang. I don't care who you is. Jay ain't seeing nobody. It's the same thing Pac should have did with Suge Knight. It's the same thing. Once you become that successful, that big, and you got all these mass million people ready to rally over you, no way you be policed. No way you be threatened. No way you have enemies who should get that close to you like that. No way. When you got millions that's willing to die for you. And that's what Jay-Z did. He capitalized. He capitalized. And he put himself in position. And he put people on deck who knew the business, who didn't care about Damon Dash. Like, hey, I don't want to see him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to be nowhere around him. So if he come here, and that's exactly what happened. And that's exactly what happened. That was a cold power move. And now Jay was in play. And now he got firepower. And now he got muscle. And now he no longer is under the shadow of Damon Dash. He is own boss now. That was a hard blow. And it crippled Damon Dash. He was frustrated behind that because it was unexpected. He never expected it when Jay-Z was working on it for the longest. He crippled him business-wise. He crippled him mentally-wise. He crippled him physically-wise. And he gave him a bad name in this industry to the point that nobody really wanted to deal with him in certain ways. They were trying to be cutthroat and blackball this man. It's a dirty game, boy. Same thing with Lil Wayne and Baby. Yeah, Baby started out with all the money, all this, but the people like Lil Wayne. The people like Lil Wayne. That's power. When you can have the people behind you, that's power. Because they'll go out of their way for you. And if you position them in the right way, where they need to be, you could be a powerful threat. This is the thing that had Martin Luther King assassinated. This is the thing that had Malcolm X assassinated. Because when you're in position of leadership and you have the influence to move people to believe in what you're doing, that's power. That's power in itself. And with that being said, this is Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment that's in question. It's yours. Subscribe to Battle Truth, 1UF. It's going down, y'all. Jay-Z, man, power moves. One of the powerful keys to success that brother did. And that was cold. That was a hard blow, a hard pill to swallow. And again, to this day, Damon Dash feeling the pressure of it.